It is Monday, January 9th. The time is 2:33 p.m. Quick review of today's trades. Starting off with Tesla. We had opened up in here, moved up a bit, not close enough to get me into a short position at 124.93 R1. So nothing there. Apple the same way. The notes just stayed within range around the midpoint, not much there. Oil, I did have a trade at oil, and based on the hourly chart, it moved up to R1, and it got within 2 ticks away from it, 1 tick actually, and I went and took it. I didn't want to miss it, and I was short in here. I looked at this level over here for resistant support, turned resistant, and I took profit in here. I've also added my MCL oil into my day trading chart, and I'll discuss that in a minute, because you can have a short trade on the hourly, but a long on the 1 minute, and I'll show that chart in a minute and discuss how I was able to do that. Gold didn't have anything setting up today. MES, nothing. Now I say nothing. There's a bunch of midpoint trade, first test of the midpoint, and this is a good example, and I'll show this as I go as well. I haven't been taking those as much because we had a volatile market with a lot of great setups, so you tend to pass on the okay setups and take the great ones such as R1 and S1, R2 and S2. But the midpoint has really worked all through last year, and here's a good example. We moved up, came down, touched it, and we moved up again. This would have been a nice long trade from 21 to 70, about 50 ES points. So I'll show those as we go. They don't always work this cleanly, and sometimes they don't work at all, but I'll show when they work. Actually, let me go back, see if we had one in oil. No, we did not. Gold, this one like a sloppy midpoint test. We moved up, came back, the following bar. I like to see separation before the move up or the move down and the retest, and there's not much separation in here, so not a good example there. I probably would have passed, but this would have been a great example in here. Of course, assuming you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning in the US and able to take this trade. No, I was not. Then same thing tested on the MNQ with the midpoint, but nothing set up on the R1. So this would have been a long for a nice 1144 to about 200 plus points. Nothing in the MNQ. Nothing set up, just the midpoint again. 6A, nothing. I put a sell limit on the 6E, and I think I still have it on at 1081, but I didn't get filled and moved without me a bit. Not much of a move, but still would have been an okay gain. 60 down to about 40 points, 60 pips, ticks I mean. 6B, nothing on the Swiss, excuse me, nothing on the Canadian, nothing on the corn, nothing on the wheat. Now the Forex, this is another example of midpoint test. We moved up, didn't reach any of R1 or S1, but we did reach the midpoint. This is the first test only. You do this only once per week. So first time it does that, it moves up or moves down, it comes back, and you can put a limit at the midpoint, and it should move up from there for a decent gain. Would have been I guess here somewhere, but I didn't take it. this would have been a test for the midpoint that not doing very well right now. It's moving down actually, but I didn't take this one either. Wasn't really a great day today, but still. The AUDUSD had moved up, and I have a limit, I still have a limit sell at 69.73, and still not filled. Moves away from it now. I may have to cancel it tonight or tomorrow morning. Nothing here. Nothing. Nothing. Well, this is an example of, well, not really. That's not a good example of the midpoint test that failed, because it moved down, and this is really the test in here, and worked out okay in here. I have a limit sell at 144.47. Was moving up, and I thought we'll get there, but we didn't. Nothing. I have a limit sell in here as well. Limit sell for the pound at 122.52. This is an example of a midpoint test that failed. So you'd have been short in here, and it would have been stopped on here somewhere, depending on where your stop is. Nothing on the Euro Swiss. Nothing on the Euro CAD. Nothing. I have a sell in here. Thought we'll reach it. This bottle was looking really good. There's stuff going on, news coming out, and so I thought maybe we'll get there, we'll get filled and come right down. Euro pound, nothing. Do have a sell limit on the euro at 107.67. Did not get filled. Nothing here. Nothing. I have a limit on New Zealand, 64.36. I did get filled on the Swiss to the tick, and I'm holding it at a gain. I'm up about maybe, I think, 40 pips. My goal is here, this right over here. I put the lines in to make it easy. So I was long here, and this is my target. I'm, I think, about 10-15 pips away from the target. Limit in here, not filled, and nothing on the yen. Now going over the day trades, two things. One, I had added the MCL, the oil, the micro oil, because I've looked at it over the weekend and it had a lot of great setups. So I'm thinking this actually, it had a much better setup than the MNQ did. So I'm going to look at them both. I may keep them both, or decide to go with the one, focus on one only. But I think I can easily do both of them at the same time. It's not much. With this setup that I have in here, it doesn't take a lot of effort to trade, to take the trades in here. So starting with the MNQ, I'm going to start at the open. Around the open, it's just 7 o'clock in the morning. Nothing really happened here. Then we're moving in. Then this is the open, 8:30. My rule is the first 15-20 minutes of the open I'm gonna avoid, and this was the case in here. We had, this is 8:30 in here. This is 8:45. Then I'm thinking maybe still moving up, but this is still the market open. So around here, when I'm thinking going short, we're getting very close to having a no rotation, no range coming up. So I passed on this one. Did not take it, which would have been good, because it would have been a bad trade. And then between 9 and 10, only S1 got set up, nothing else after that. Between 10 and 11, absolutely nothing, stayed quiet. Then 11 and 12, also the same way, just not a lot of news today, not much is going on. Then between 12 and 1, we did have a setup, but we had two Fed speakers going on right over here, right over this at this moment. I think at 12:30 is when they started to speak, and as soon as they started to speak, the market started to go down. So I really didn't want to stand up ahead in front of the Fed speaker saying that yeah, rates will continue to go up or something like that. So I skipped it. If this was been earlier, if it was in here somewhere, I would have been maybe thinking long in here. Now, assuming I had taken out with the Fed's speakers, when they do happen on the hourly chart, I do tend to take them because we have time and we have the range, and this is a swing trade. But when you're dealing with a 1 hour range, I really can't take it. So over here, I skipped it. But if I had taken it and I had to close by the end of the range over here, it would have been very small loss or maybe break even. So no trade here. This only set up toward the end of the range. By the time this guy was set up, it was too late. The range is already done, and here we are now. So I didn't have anything going on at the MNQ. Nothing was taken, but I did trade the MCL. So here's what happened. And like I said, when we have an hourly setup and we have the 1 minute, you have to kind of see how to trade those. So this is this right over here. It just carried down over here. It shows bigger because it's a 1 minute. So when we got in, I was short in here. So and I keep the line. This line is exactly this line over here. So over here I went short and I took profit in here for 59, I think like 100 and something ticks. Yeah, 114 ticks. So I took that in here. So I exited in here at this support resistant and took my profit. Now as you go, this is between this is 4 and 5. Now this is, I didn't start at 4 or 5, but this extended because just the way the chart is. So you know, I took the short in here, somewhere in here, not based on the 1 minute, based on the over here, based on the hourly. Then as we went down over here, I took it based on the support, but not over here. As we go on the 1 minute, that looked like a decent setup. It was almost at S2, and it was at a support level in here. So I did take this long as well and exited. No, I didn't take it here. I'm sorry. I took it in here. Then this was 8 from 9 till 10. Then we started moving down again, and we were way past S2. And even though this is showing me to go down toward the midpoint, I have a long setup on the 1 minute from 9 to 10. So I decided to go ahead and take a long in here. This is the support. I took a long in here past S2, and it took a bit. I think I took it in here, maybe on here somewhere, I can't remember. And it took a little while. Then we're getting close to the end of the range. I took my profit in here for a couple of ticks, I think, not much. Then we have a new range setting up in here. Same thing happened, even though we're still short on the hourly. The 1 minute had moved way past S2. I took a long in here, and this one took forever. I mean, it didn't look like it wants to go higher at all. It looks like it want to continue. I took my profit in here again within a few minutes away from the end of the range, and the fact that it took so long, just a time stop basically on the trade. Then from 11 till 12, nothing set up, very tight range. Then 12 to 1, the same thing, we just seen S1. Then from 1 till 2, nothing, and from 2 till 3, which is now, nothing is going on. So not a lot of trades, but at the same time it does help to keep you out of bad trades or choppy range. You just take it when the market is moving. Looks like the NQ is getting down toward S2, but it's 250, 10 minutes away from market close, so I won't take anything. So that's it. Day's done. Slightly up bit on the Forex and up on the MCL, like I think $140 or something like that. That's a day, and I'll do this again tomorrow.